Okay, so we're in section 2.4 there for Venn diagrams.
Sorry about that.
Forgiven. Okay. Hey, on True Tide Tuesday, Honors Geometry, February quiz, SWBA students will be able to draw, complete, and interpret Venn diagrams. This is our section 2.4, okay? Draw, interpret, and complete Venn diagrams, okay? So they're a visual way of displaying the relationship between sets, okay? Displaying the relationship between sets. And actually, even in English, that's the same thing. It's just instead of talking about a set of numbers or a population of people, a lot of times it's talking about sets of events, right? That's how it's a tool used to compare and contrast very often, okay? So we have 3 different types of Venn diagrams we're going to be talking about. So we have an all, always, every category, where it's saying like all elements of P, everything that's part of this is also a part of Q. That's why the circle's inside of there, because everything that's in P is in Q. Is everything that's in Q in P? No. No, some of what's in Q is in P, but all of P is in Q, okay? So that'd be kind of like, we could say, students in this class. Okay, we could talk about students in this class could be this, and then the Q could be students in high school. Are all students in this class in high school?
Yes.
Yeah. Are all students in high school in this class? No. Okay. And so this could be represented by if P then Q. Okay. That could be represented by if P then Q. That would be a true time for that. So it's like saying if you're in this class, then you're in high school. Well, that's true, but the converse is not necessarily, okay. Then we have our sum. Sometimes the sum and sometimes. This is probably the Venn diagram you're most used to seeing, where there's a little bit of overlap there, okay? So it's just saying we have all of P, we have all of Q, so sometimes they overlap, okay? So in the whole thing here would be our P or Q, Because that'd be when either one is true, we have it. So as long as either one's part of it, so it's saying what's in P or Q. This middle part would be the P and Q. That's only when both are true. Okay, if we go back to our compound statements, that's only when both are true, okay? So it's like our carrot and our apple, right? Okay. And then in our third category, and you probably haven't seen this much either though, it's our never, no, or none. There's no relationship between these, okay? They're completely separate. That's like saying students that are sophomores and students that are freshmen. Is it possible for a student to be both a sophomore and a freshman? No. Okay? So you're one or the other, okay, in this category, okay? So you can say that you're either one or the other, okay, for those two elements, for those two sets, okay? And a set is just a collection of elements. And elements can be whatever. They can be numbers, they can be people, they can be names, they can be whatever, okay? So if we're talking about the set of all students that are sophomores, okay, then I'd be talking about, okay, so some of the elements are going to be the sophomore students. So all the sophomore students' names would be the elements. For the set of all students that are freshmen, if that's our Q, then the elements would be those that are Q, okay? So going below this, okay, so we're going to draw the Venn diagrams to represent each statement. So some students who take chorus also take band, okay? So what word should really be sticking out to us right now? Some, okay? So which category are we going to do? Are we going to do that first one, the second one, or that third one that we have? The second one, right? Where there's some overlap, okay? So we have the circle, and we have another circle with overlap. Because we have that word some, that should trigger, oh, there's an overlap here. It's not all, it's not none, it's some, okay? And so what would one of these circles be?
Chorus.
Okay, the chorus students. And what would the other circle be? Band. And I would say that, yeah, this represents the statement. Some students who take chorus also take band. They're saying there's an overlap there. It's not everyone, but they're saying there is an overlap. Okay? Questions on that? Okay, for our second one. No perfect squares are prime numbers. What word should stick out to us there?
No.
No. So which snare are we going to have? The first, second, or third? Third. So we're going to have two separate circles. They should not be touching at all. So what's one circle?
Prime number.
Perfect squares, and the other one is prime numbers. So one is perfect squares, so we'll label it, and the other one's going to be prime numbers. And if you don't have enough room to write inside of your circle, that's okay. You can write outside of your circle and draw an arrow to it being inside. I'll show that on this next example. Okay, Caleb.
What if I just wrote like an S for square and a P?
As long as it's clear to the reader, if they have this, that we would know, then sure. Okay. Any other questions on the first two? Okay. We're going to number 3 here. Numbers divisible by 6 are always divisible by 3. So what word should be popping out to us? Always. Which category are we doing now? First one. Oh, what? No, we've done the first 3 categories in the first 3 problems. Okay. So we have 2 circles, and one should be inside of the other. Okay. Which one's inside of the other? Let's agree. Not with the way it's structured. Okay. We're saying if a number is divisible by 3, is it automatically divisible by 6? No. Okay. So then, can the divisible by 3 going to be the small one then?
Yeah, that's what it said.
No, it can't be. The big one is the numbers divisible by 3. Because more numbers are divisible by 3 than by 6. Is 3 divisible by 3? But is it divisible by 6?
No.
No. Is 6 divisible by 3? And 6. 9, only divisible by 3. 12, both. 15, only 3. 18, both. We're saying all numbers, though, that are divisible by 6 are automatically divisible by 3. If it's divisible by 6, we know it's divisible by 3. It has to be. You cannot come up with a number that's divisible by 6 and not divisible by 3.
Somebody says it every day.
I know. That's why I keep it cold, is because I just love hearing you guys
Why
say
don't
it.
you just make it warm?
I've
He's
never
never
touched it.
touched
I
it.
never touch or change the temperature here.
Yeah, because Dad much wants to.
I quite literally don't know how without ripping me off. I tell Hardy to make it warm in here. In my class, he just messes me up.
Mr.
That's all they're
Hoffman
not
thinks you touch the thermostat and you will freeze.
Probably.
Some rooms
Okay.
have thermostats.
Yes. Every natural number is a whole number. What word should stick out to us there? Every. So we're going to have what kind of scenario? The first one, okay? Circle inside of another, okay? Which one's the inside one? Natural numbers. So which one's the big circle then?
Whole.
Whole numbers.
Kind of looks like an egg.
Kind of.
Not really.
Mine looks like
No, if it's in like the frying pan, it kind of does.
Have you
It's
never
a
made
tiny
an
egg.
What do you know?
It's all perception.
Also, you have to. You can't just throw an egg in a pan. You
That's
crack
a lie.
It, and then it goes everywhere.
Yeah, well, here's the egg white, here's the yolk.
Okay, that's what. But you said in a pan.
Yeah.
Yes, if you
Where's
crack
the
it.
pan?
Well, it's like,
You don't need the pan.
Okay.
Square pan.
continuing on.
It's already in the
It's the square pan. Yeah, thank you, James. Somebody understands, okay? Some vertical angles are complementary. What word should point out to us? Some. So what are we going to have?
Second.
Overlap, our second scenario, okay? Does it matter which one we call which?
No.
Not really. As long as we call one vertical angles
Ooh, that was a good one.
and another one is complementary angles, we're fine. We're saying that some vertical angles are complementary, but not all. You get a good pop? You talk. Okay. Irrational numbers are never rational numbers. What word should pop out to us?
Never.
Never. Okay, so what are we going to have?
Two on the
2 completely separate ones. Okay, we just need to label one irrational numbers and the other rational numbers. It really doesn't matter which one's which. As long as you have them both labeled, it really doesn't matter which one you have labeled which way. Okay? Questions on that? Okay, so right below this, we're going to practice shading a bit, okay? And saying, what's this talking about? So on number 7, shade the indicated region on this Venn diagram. So we have P and Q sometimes, right? There's the overlap. That's the sum sometimes. And we're talking about the section that's just, that's the section that's just Q. All of Q is what we want shaded. So we want all of Q shaded. Is all of Q shaded?
That's not cute. Oh yeah.
Okay, yes. So we did our goal. The only part of P we shaded is also part of what? Q. So we shaded all of Q. We weren't concerned concerned with P. We are just concerned with Q. So for this one, what's this compound again? And. So P and Q. So we only want the part where they're both at. So where would that part be? Just the middle. Just the middle. Okay. What about number 9? P or Q, what would we shade? The entire thing. Anywhere where P is, or anywhere where Q is. The entire thing. P is all of this, Q is all this, so we do all of it. Here we just want to where they both were. Here it's where, as long as we have at least one of them there, we're fine. Okay, it kind of goes back to our compound statements on whether something's true. Okay, but they both have to be true, only one has to be true. Okay, P and not Q.
So you're gonna P besides where they meet.
Exactly right, Taylor. We're going to do all of P besides where they meet. Because we're doing P, so it'd normally be this whole thing, even this sliver, but because it's not Q, we don't want any of Q. We're saying we don't want any of Q. Okay? Does that make more sense at all?
Why are we doing more sentence writing?
Have we written a sentence yet?
We're already.
Is this not math? Oh no.
This is math.
I feel like I'm in English.
We'll
and
apply it to math.
I have.
I feel like I'm taking our notes again.
Nice. Okay?
No.
Describe each diagram using a conditional or compound statement. So like our and, our some, kind of the ones we were talking about earlier. So how could we word number 11? Are we going to use all, some, or none?
All.
All, because they're inside each other. So
All angles that measure 60 degrees are acute angles.
all angles that measure 60 degrees, all of whatever this is, all angles that measure 60 degrees are acute angles. They're good looking. Get it? Cute? Good looking. So,
I didn't watch
But
True
it's-
Lynch.
ever watch
True
what?
Lynch.
True Lynch.
No.
Okay, you should, because he's like you, but he's funny.
Wow. Rude.
Yeah, roast.
Somebody's failing. Okay. Can I get a volunteer for number 12?
This is due on Friday.
All beagles are dogs.
No.
Perfect.
Look how much I read.
Okay.
Do it on the search bar. I'm
Okay.
going to search it up.
13. This one's going to be our compound. Remember, because we're shading only part of it. So is this and or? James? And. Okay, it's going to be and. So what and what? Okay, so people who,
Play
okay,
and have and play piano.
okay, it's perfect. People who play volleyball and take piano lessons. So we're just doing the opposite of what we were doing on the shading. We're doing the opposite of what we were doing on the shading. Okay, so that's the and part. If we saw the sentence, we could go back and we could shade that and get the same thing, which is a good way to know we did it correctly. Okay? Questions? Take them. Okay. We'll do a couple of these, but not all, okay? Months with 31 days, and months that start with J, okay?
That's 31 days are not months.
Okay? Well, it's not unnecessarily what it says, because there is some overlap in there in general. How do we say we just want that shading?
Only ones with 31 days that don't start with J.
Months with 31 days that don't start with J. Okay, remember we had that not. So this one would have been like our P, not Q. Okay, excuse me, not P and then not Q. P and not Q. That would have been like that example. Okay? So months with 31 days that don't start with J. Okay. So what would 15 be? We won't actually write this one, but let's talk about it. What would 15 be? Grading?
Freshmen that don't take our first.
Freshmen that don't take art class. Kind of the same line there, okay? If you want to write it, you can, but I'm not making this, okay? Going on to 16. Exactly right. We have our or. Multiples of 7. Or even numbers. Multiple 7, or even numbers. Questions? Okay, here's Yuji, let's flip the page. We're cooking, okay? We're cooking.
Can we not finish? I don't want the homework.
Okay,
Oh,
so
God. Someone stall him. Say
we're giving the homework. I'm gonna give the homework around this, okay? So we might as well get through it then. Hey, Carly.
Why is it or?
Okay, why is it or? It's a great question, okay? Because we're saying any of when this is true or any of when this is true, so it's any of the overlap as well. So it goes back to our previous example where we had the or here and we shaded the whole thing. Does that make more sense? Great question. Thank you for asking that, okay? So, Venn diagram below shows the number of senior boys, and it's this whole thing senior boys. Everything in this box is senior boys, okay? Who play football play football or wrestle. How many senior boys play football and wrestle? 9 do both.
I thought we were going to do like percentages of 104 and I was ready to cry.
No. Okay? No, we're not going to do any percentages of that. How many senior boys play football but do not wrestle? 18, because there's 18 in this part.
Wait.
Okay? And it's not, let me clarify how we interpret this, okay? It is not saying that football is in total 18, so this is 9 because this is 9. No. It's saying this is 18 and this is 9. So there's 27 total people who play football, but 18 don't wrestle and 9 do. Does that make sense at all?
Yes.
Okay. How many senior boys play football or wrestle?
39.
Okay. 39, very good. How'd you get that, guys?
Add them all.
Add them all up. 18 plus 12 plus 9.
No.
Okay. When we're saying or, I know it might be weird to us when we're talking about they don't have to just do one or the other. It's one, both, or the other.
I'm confused.
I'm confused, Mr. Carlson. Nice to meet you.
I want to die.
It would only be 30 because if you combine 18 and 12, 9 is both of them.
I know, but when we talk about our or, like here it was or, okay? And here it was or, we're talking about the whole thing, even the overlap. I'm sorry you feel that way. Okay? Go back and watch that video, it's going to make more sense. Okay? So, how many senior boys wrestle?
12.
21.
91.
We just talked
12 only wrestle. But 9 do both. So there's a total of 91 that wrestle. Alyssa. These are 104 senior boys that don't do football or wrestling. Great question. So the 100. So if there was a question that's saying how many seniors are there total, we had all 4 of these numbers. Okay, these are obviously yes, only the boys. Very good. Good catch. Okay. Okay. Second Venn diagram here. How many people are signed up for yoga class?
92.
Okay. We see 92.
Just kidding.
Because we're doing 68 plus 24. Okay? I'll write that above there, 68 plus 24. Okay? How many people are signed up for yoga or aerobics?
181.
Okay? And it's going to be 181. We can take the 68 plus 24 plus 89. Okay? And since we already know how many are doing yoga, we can just add how many are only doing aerobics. So you could have done this 92 plus 89, you get 181. Okay? We're a little confused.
No,
Just discussed it.
no.
Okay.
She thinks it's stupid like I do.
No, I ripped my belly button piercing and it hurt.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's new. I've been there before.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm graded.
Hi, Green. Nice to meet you.
Kevin did that
Don't.
earlier and you didn't even acknowledge.
I want it.
No, he came back to me and got me.
Really?
If there's one at the beginning, I'll see. Okay. How many people are signed up for aerobics but not yoga? 89?
Oh.
575.
Okay. How many people belong to the gym? No, not 575. What?
756.
756? That's what I have.
Yeah.
Because,
Tom.
sorry, okay, because 181 belong in either yoga or aerobics, or that both, and 575 are in the gym but don't do yoga or aerobics, okay? Just because you go to the gym doesn't mean you have to do yoga and aerobics, okay? So, you take this 575 plus these 3 numbers. Alyssa.
But, so 575 is the overall people in the gym and then the smaller groups, isn't it?
575 are just the people who don't fit in any of these categories but still belong to the gym. So just like 104, those are the senior boys that don't play football or wrestle. So they don't fit in these categories, but they're still a senior boy. So these 575 people still belong to the gym, but they do not do yoga or aerobics or both. So you have to add up all four numbers. I know it's kind of weird, okay? But I think once we get more used to thinking about it, it'll get easier once we practice it more. Does that make more sense, Alyssa? Okay, not really, but you get okay. So maybe like you don't agree with how it's done, but you can understand. Okay, I feel that. Okay. Okay, that's fair. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, we're going to skip number 3. Okay, and we're gonna go to number 4.
No.
Okay. So the Venn diagram below shows a number of sophomores, talking about sophomore students, with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram accounts.
Facebook.
Okay.
My mom.
There's more techniques on there than you realize. Just saying. Okay, you're missing out. Not only from Reddit, no. So a lot of them do come from there. I'll be honest. Okay. How many sophomores just have a Facebook account? 124. Right there. Only Facebook. There's no overlap there. How many sophomores have a Twitter or Instagram account? Twitter or Instagram. So all of Twitter plus all of Instagram. So raise your hand if you want to tell me the numbers we're going to add together here. Okay, Rachel. Okay, and there's actually going to be more. I'm going to move that there's more. Okay, because do these people have Twitter?
Yep.
Do these people have Twitter or Instagram?
Yep.
Do these people have Instagram?
Yep.
We're going to add up all 6 of those numbers.
I'm not doing it.
Sarah.
Like, let's say if the question said have a Twitter, Instagram, but not Facebook, then you just add up the 3.
Then we would have added up those numbers. Yes. Okay. So this ends up being, I'll go ahead and spoil it.
Wait, no, wait.
No, let him.
Wait,
Oh.
it's
You're
in
not
there.
doing your
Oh, I
cheater.
think you got it right. Go ahead and say it, Peyton. 209. Very good.
I love you. How'd you do that? Oh, you have a phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to know.
How many sophomores have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts?
they have to add up
20.
Nope.
21.
Not anyone. Just the and. And it doesn't say or. If it said or, we add up everything. Okay.
Oh. How many students?
So I feel that way. Okay. How many students do not have a Twitter account?
So many numbers.
Okay. Raise your hand for numbers we're gonna add up here. Do not have a Twitter account. James.
124.
Okay, and I'm gonna add one more to that.
28.
The 28 down here. The sophomores who don't have any of those 3 platforms. Okay? So we're gonna add those 4 numbers together, and what do we get?
I'm not adding.
241. That's exactly right. Okay? How many students do not have Facebook? Do not have a Facebook and Instagram account. So they don't have Facebook and they don't have
46.
Instagram.
Wait, no,
No,
they
excuse me.
have to ask.
Excuse me. They don't have Facebook. Yeah, and Instagram.
74.
So what numbers are we adding up here?
46.
28.
No, wait.
Okay.
I'm right.
I have the wrong one. Yes. Okay. So 46 plus 28 is. Okay.
54.
No, it's a. Oh yeah, you totally said sense.
It is Jesus. Okay. Questions on that?
No.
Okay. We're gonna punt on the rest of that for now. Okay. And I'm gonna pass out our homework. We cooked through that. Good job, guys.
No, we didn't cook through that.
Oh, we did.
Cooked. We still have a whole thing.
The
I feel good
amount
about
of
it.
purple I hate now.
No. I feel good about how much.
Class, this will be due. This will be due next class. Okay. This will be due next class. Yes, I have it. Okay.
Grade it.
If I went too fast today, what can you do? Video. Come in and get help. Okay.
You crumbled it.
I'm going to fail this test.
Am I going to fail this test? Hi, Mr. Gossel.
No, opposite of death.
It is a